Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a debut deck profile of my Crusadias. Now this deck is a really interesting deck, and it's probably becoming one of my favorite archetypes of all time, just because of how quickly it can OTK your opponent and how many easy ways it has to summon out the Crusadia Equal Max. Now this card is really nuts. It can gain attack points equal to all the monsters it points to, and this deck is just absolutely crazy. So let's get straight on into this, guys. Before we do, though, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down there so you can become a part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into it. And for you guys who are a part of the notification squad, don't forget to comment down below and say, hey, notification squad. So let's get straight on into this and see what we're playing. So first off, you're going to play 3 copies of Crusadia Maximus. All the Crusadias share the effect of that you can special summon them. You can special summon this card from your hand in defense position to a zone, to a link zone, a link monster points to. You can only special summon the particular monster once per turn this way. Then they all share an ability. Some of them share an ability that you can target the link monster to give it an added effect, and you can only use the effect of the particular monster once per turn. So, Crusadia Maximus' special ability is that he makes it so you can give the link monster double damage. So when you attack an opponent's monster, it does double damage to your opponent, which is really cool because you have some other cards in this deck that let them attack all monsters your opponent controls and do piercing damage, which makes it so it's just absolutely crazy cool. Then we play 3 copies of Crusadia Leonis. You got to play 3 Leonis and 3 Maximus. You kind of play 3 of all of them. There's a couple of them that you can cut down if you want to, but I play 3 Leonis. 3 Leonis' effect is that he inflicts piercing damage. You can target a link monster you control and give it the added ability that it can inflict piercing damage when it attacks a monster. And it shares the same ability that you can special summon it and everything else, which is cool. Then we play 3 of the girl Crusadia, which is Crusadia Ibarod. Her effect is that you can make it so the once per turn, if a Crusadia monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can banish this card from the field or grave instead, which is pretty cool. It protects your Crusadia monsters, which is kind of neat if you're playing against a deck that kind of like does a lot of destruction abilities and stuff like that. You kind of want to have her in the grave and link her away to begin with so you can have the protected ability. But there's a card in here that makes it where they're immune to all card effects as well. So it's really a control like OTK based deck, which I really like about this deck, and it's a lot of fun to play. Not a lot of fun for your opponent though. So then we play 3 copies of Crusadia Draco. Crusadia Draco is really cool. It's actually the little guard dragon from World Chalice, which if you guys have been paying attention, there's actually a storyline going on with all of these. But its effect is that if this card is normal or special summoned to a zone a link monster points to, you can target one Crusadia monster in your grave and add it to your hand, which is pretty cool because they can roll into where you guys can like overlay and then overlay again and do all sorts of just crazy plays. Then we play 3 copies of Crusadia Reclusia. This one's almost like a little scrap dragon. Its effect is once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned to a zone a link monster points to, you can target one Crusadia monster you control and one card your opponent controls and destroy them, which is really cool because like if your opponent has a really card that you don't want on the field, you can summon this, target it, and then destroy it, or target another Crusadia that you have on the field and destroy it. Something that I would like to note too, this card's actually a tuner, so you can put synchros in here if you want to do that. I only have 1 synchro in this deck, and it's kind of an interesting tech that I'll show you guys in a few minutes. So then I play a Kaiju package in the form of a Thunder King Kaiju. I play a Dolgaran Mad Flame Kaiju. I play the Mystery Dust Kaiju, and I play a Gamma Seal. So that is my big lineup that I play in here for my Kaiju package. The Kaiju package is really important in here because you kind of really need it, because if you tribute it to a zone, like if you tribute it to this zone up here, then your opponent's you're gonna gain attack points equal to that monster's attack. And I can't tell you how many games I've been playtesting this deck and done that where I gave my opponent the Kaiju off of Interrupted Kaiju Slumber and then attacked into the Kaiju and won the game. Like, that is just a really nutty, crazy play. So then, let's clear this away, and I'll show you guys my last couple of monsters. But that's it for part of the monsters. That's it for the Crusadias and the Kaijus. So let me show you guys the rest of them, because this is a big monster count, because you're doing a lot of link summoning in this deck. So let me show you guys the rest of them really quick. So then I'm playing 2 copies of World Legacy World Lance. World Legacy World Lance is kind of like a hand trap. During damage calculation, if a link monster battles an opponent's monster quick effect, you can discard this card to have that opponent's monster lose 3,000 attack. That's the big effect that you're going to be using with this card. Some people play 2, some people play 2 and 1. I like 1 copy, or I like 2 copies of this in this deck. Because, like, you can attack him with a Crusadia Equal Max, and they can think that, oh, I can let that first attack go through, and then you discard this in damage step, and they're like, oh, well, I lost. So, then I play 2 copies of World Legacy World Crown. World Crown kind of just special summons itself to a zone that it points to. It's really a good card. You need 2 of it in this deck. Everybody plays 2. And the next card, guys, that I'm playing, I'm going to let you guys guess. So down in the comments down there, I bet you nobody's going to be able to guess this. I totally bet you that nobody's going to be able to guess this card. It is so weird, and is my own personal tech for this, and I think it's pretty good in here, but I want you guys to comment down there and tell me what you think it is. So I'm going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Comment down below. Don't forget to comment, pause the video and comment and tell me what you think it is. So here we go. It is 2 copies of TG Striker. Okay, now the reason I play this is because I can actually normal summon, or after I've completed my Equal Max, I can special summon this at the beginning of my combos, and then normal summon out any of my Crusadias, and then start linking them away to summon out Equal Max. Well, after I do, if I can get Leonis on field with this, I can go into Naturia Beast to prevent my opponent from activating any spells and traps, which is kind of cool because the Crusadia monster, if you have this combination, this can negate 1 card effect. You can tribute 1 Crusadia or World Legacy monster this card points to, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent, or target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effect until the end phase of the turn. Well, this one negates all spells, so then it takes the strain off of my Equal Max, so this card negates all the spells, and this takes care of traps and monsters at that point, which usually is just monsters. And if you can negate the 1 monster effect that they have that's a problem, you can win the duel really easily. So that's why I'm playing the copy of TG Striker. So TG Striker is kind of like my own personal thing that I came up with for this deck. And I thought it was kind of interesting. I put in reinforcements of the army, and I was like, why not? TG Striker. Let's go. So anyways, that's it for the monsters, guys. I hope you guys kind of like that. I thought it was kind of neat and cheeky. If you don't want to play that, don't play something else. I really like it. It works really well. You can also try and tech in like a Cyber Dragon if you want to make Mega Fleet, and then put Mega Fleet in. So then for the rest of the cards, I play 1 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, because you have to play that if you're going to play the Kaiju package, and you want to play the Kaiju package inside of your Crusadias, because it's really important. 1 copy of Monster Reborn, just in case. It can give me extra abilities for my Crusadias, which is really cool. Rhoda, the targets are the Water Tuner one, and Striker. 2 copies of World Legacy Succession. This card is essentially Monster Reborn for a Link Zone. When you have a Link monster on the field, you can target a monster in your grave, special summon it to a Link Zone you have, which is cool. 2 copies of Crusadia Revival. It makes all of your Crusadias gain 500 attack, which, like they needed it, but it makes them all gain 500 attack. And then you can target 1 Crusadia monster you control. This turn it can attack all monsters your opponent controls, but none of your other monsters can attack, which is not a big deal. Then I play 3 copies of Crusadia Power. Crusadia Power is pretty darn good in this deck, because what it does is basically you get to target 1 Crusadia monster that you control, and then it is unaffected by all other card effects except its own for the rest of the turn, which is really important for this deck, because it's basically just makes your Equal Max immune to everything. So if you can get an Equal Max with Leonis, Maximus, this, and Revival, you've won. And you already search off of the summons of Magius and Regulex. So you get the option to get the pieces that you don't have. So it's really, really cool. Then I play 3 copies of Scapegoat. If this card, because I'm taking this video before the August ban list of 2018 drops, if this card gets hit, play 1 Upstart Goblin and 2 Twin Twisters instead, if you want to. That's what I particularly would play to hit the back row so I wouldn't have to deal with it on my opponent's turn, or during my turn, so I can go in for my OTK. But if it doesn't get hit, keep playing it at however many ratio you want to play. But for the moment, I'm playing 3 copies because it can let me go into Boral Sword and stuff like that. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. There's only 2 traps that we actually play in this deck, and they're the same card. So we play 2 copies of Crusadia Vanguard. When this card is activated, you can also tribute 1 Crusadia or World Legacy monster. And if you did, special summon 1 Crusadia or World Legacy monster with a different name from your deck or grave, which is kind of cool. So it kind of like trades them out. And then when you control a Crusadia Link monster, your opponent cannot activate. Your opponent's monsters can only target Crusadia or the Link monster for attacks. They're not going to want to do that with equal max. So that's it for the deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. That's it for the main deck. And I'll show you guys what I'm playing in the extra deck. The extra deck is pretty self-explanatory. You're only really going to need, like, really 7 cards in the extra deck, and I'll show you which ones they are. So you're going to need 2 copies of Crusadia Equal Max. This one's really good. It is my equalizer, if you guys have ever heard that term. It gains attack equal to the combined original attack of all monsters that it points to, which is really cool. And the monsters that it points to cannot attack. Not a big deal, because he's going to get big enough anyways. And then once per turn, quick effect, you contribute the Crusadia or World Legacy monster, then target a face-up card your opponent controls, and negate the effects until the end phase of the turn. Big monster, gets humongous. I have gotten him all the way up to over 10,000 in a game. It's really easy to get him over 10,000. I think I had like a Dolgaran. Star Destroying Kaiju, not Star Destroying, the Thunder Dragon Kaiju that has the 3 heads, and a Boral Sword under this, and he was humongous, and I just won the game instantaneously. It was crazy. Then you play 2 copies of Regulex. You have to go into Regulex to go up into your Equal Max. It makes it really easy. It gains attack equal to the combined original attack of all monsters it points to, and if it's a let's see, where is it? If a monster is special summoned to the zone that this card, link zone that this card points to, you can add 1 Crusadia spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is really, really cool. Then 2 Magius, it does the same exact thing, except it adds a monster, so it lets you instantly go up into the Regulex, which is really nice. Boral Sword, because it's an OTK maker, and we already have an OTK maker in this deck, so why not play another one? Then we play 1 copy of Boral Load, just in case we need it. Then we play 1 copy of Summon Sorceress. If you don't have Summon Sorceress, play a copy of Nightmare Unicorn instead. Either or works. I play Summon Sorceress. You're not really ever going to make it in this deck, because mainly you're going to go Magius, Regulex, Equal Max. Like, that's the way it goes. You go 1, 2, 3, game. Like, it's easy. If you can count to 3 if you can count to 3, you can win with this deck. That might be why I like this deck. But then we play 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix, just because it's a Link deck. Cerberus, Link deck. For the Scapegoats, we play Proxy Dragon, and I like to play 2 Link Karibos for that, because what I normally do is make a Link Karibo, and then make Proxy Dragon, and then make a second Link Karibo, and then I go into Boral Sword or Boral Load, whichever one I kind of need at the moment. If you want to, you can play Yugioh. I don't particularly do. I don't find that I need it in this deck. If you want to, you can drop the Summon Sorceress and play it, but that's up to you guys. The extra deck is usually personal preference, except for this set up here. These 6 right here are the big ones, and the Nat Beast, if you're going to play the Striker, because it takes a Earth monster and a non-tuner Earth monster to make it, so you make Nat Beast with the Striker and the Leonis. So that's it for that deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really enjoyed taking this deck profile. You guys are going to be seeing a lot of this on my channel, probably, because I absolutely love this deck to death. I do see this deck becoming meta with how OTK, or how easy it is to OTK in this deck, and how versatile this deck can become. Because all you need is the main deck monsters. The other stuff can be interchanged. But the Kaiju package just takes this deck over the edge. If we get more than one Kaiju Slumber in here, play as many Kaiju Slumbers as you can play in this deck, because it makes the deck crazy. So anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down there so you can become a part of the notification squad, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.